Get ready with me while I tell you guys how I am starting my own business with no experience, no business degree, and learning as I go. So this is something that I've been wanting to do for many years. I finally just thought to myself, okay, if not now, then when? So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a background on how I got here, why I'm doing this. So basically, during grad school, I went to U of T for my master's, and while I was doing my master's, I had moved into my own place and I was living downtown. I started making these little vlogs just to document my student journey. So while I was in school, I would be posting these videos. And the reason why I even started my page is because I did a thesis-based master's. There aren't too many study content creators out there in the first place, but nobody was really doing any master's content, especially not thesis related. So I was like, okay, let me be one of the people doing this. And yeah, so I learned how to edit. I would be posting study content. I'd be posting about my thesis. I would just start posting my day-to-day, how it was living in Toronto as a grad student. I grew my following to about 4,000 followers. Through that, I also got noticed by brands like Samsung, Lululemon, Google, and I was fortunate enough to create content for them as well. But I always told myself that I want to do something else with this. I thought to myself, okay, I really want to create my own product. And yeah, I really loved posting study tips and productivity reels, and it continued over onto TikTok. That was all great, but I always wanted to do something more with it. I wanted something with my name on it. I wanted something to call mine, and I really started brainstorming, okay, like what's a product I could come out with that people would use in this niche? Because anytime I would post, my best content would be study content. So when I graduated and I wasn't a student anymore, I didn't really have much to talk about, to be honest, because then I was just focused on my job search, and then once I got a job, I just started working and I was focused on that. And trust me, saying that I even got to work with brands like L'Oreal, Muji, and Lululemon is still so crazy to me. I get invited to their events, and this is something I didn't even think was possible, especially with only 4,000 followers. And don't get me wrong, 4,000 is a huge number. In the content creator world, people have millions and you're kind of competing with each other for opportunities, or that's how it feels. I was always creating. So this is where I decided to pivot. So because I was newly graduated, I wasn't posting study content. I didn't really have any, I felt like I kind of lost my purpose with content creation because my work vlogs honestly were not taking off. I work from home, so it would just be the same thing over and over again. So I started to really think, okay, what is something that is tangible that I could create to help others? And that's when I thought to myself, okay, I always talk about journaling, about mindfulness, about self-care, so why not come out with my own journal? And that's when I got the idea to start designing planners. I wanted to create something that would help your day feel more structured so that you are able to be more mindful about your day-to-day. I want to include habit tracking in my planners as well. I also made a video about journaling a while ago. I will link that in the description, but that is truly one of the habits that changed my life, especially when I started during the pandemic. So that is something that I always encourage others to do. Journaling, planning, your Sunday reset routine is just so important. And one thing that I really want to do is, because I'm starting out with the digital templates, I really want to make sure everything was affordable, especially because my audience is students and young professionals. So I will be keeping everything under $5. This way you can buy one of my templates and you're not really losing much money in the process, and everything is digital. So for people who prefer to have physical copies, they can just buy it and print it. But here's the thing, because I had no business experience, I've never sold anything on my own before. I had to start from ground zero. I started watching YouTubers who had come out with their own digital product, and I just took notes from them about what worked, what didn't work. There was a lot of trial and error. I didn't know how to set up an Etsy shop. I didn't know how to price things. I didn't know how to set up the actual product listing. I learned everything through YouTube. I used Canva Pro for all my designs, and again, a lot of trial and error. And honestly, I feel like that was the most empowering part. I know it's not perfect. I know it's not where I want it to be, but I really just wanted to get this done. I wanted to get something out there, because the longer I was just putting things off and telling myself, okay, like I'll do it, I'll start tomorrow, I just put a release date in my calendar and I said, okay, on this date I'm gonna post on Instagram and share it with everybody. So I gave myself until the end of October to launch 10 products, have them out, create promotional material. Even though I was getting some views on Etsy, your product doesn't really take off unless you market it elsewhere. So I have the perfect platform to do this on my Instagram, on my TikTok. My plan is to market it through that. So if you ever want to start something and you find yourself making up excuses, or you tell yourself that you're not ready yet and this is your sign to just start anyway, I would say start with one small actionable step, because you just have to take things one day at a time. That's also the message that I want to send with my digital planners and my digital templates, that you have to take things one day at a time. You just have to plan things one day at a time, and you will slowly but surely get to where you want to go. And one thing I've learned from my friends, from my coworkers, from my connections who have all started a business is that you really learn as you go. What you start with is not what you end up with, because when I had first started my Studygram on Instagram, I was posting study tips. I didn't even show my face on there. You change your content as you grow. And once I hit 2K, I told myself I really want to start showing my day-to-day routine on there. And that's when I started posting morning vlogs. So I would show myself getting ready in the morning, getting ready for work, journaling, going to the gym, listening to a podcast, things that were very productive and things that I wanted to inspire others with. Because I always say anyone who visits my page, I want them to really be mindful of their habits and just be inspired by the overall things they can accomplish. So today I want to officially hard launch my business, and this is the first place I'm actually saying this out loud. My digital shop is live. I called it Mindspace because I really want it to be a place to meet yourself. I want it to feel calm. I want it to be minimal. I want it to be grounding. I want people to use my planners as that quiet moment before your day actually starts. So as of right now, I've created journal templates, I've created habit trackers, I've also made weekly planners, and I really want to create vision board planners. So stay tuned for that. And the best part is that you can, as soon as you hit purchase, they will download instantly. You don't have to worry about delivery. You don't have to worry about shipping. The link is in my bio. Once you buy the product, is download the files and you can use it on GoodNotes. You can use it on your iPad. You can print it out and fill it in if you are a physical pen and paper type of person. And I really do feel like this is the beginning. My end goal is to create a physical journal that students and young professionals can use. This is really for anyone who wants to stay grounded while chasing their big goals. And honestly, starting something new with no experience was actually so scary. But I remember just sitting there and overthinking everything. And I told myself, okay, you can either sit here and overthink this for another month, or you can just release it this month and just focus on making it better as you go. So I'm so glad I did that, because now I have my listings all up and I've started creating promotional material to market them. I already have 2 sales, and I remember seeing that email from Etsy when my first sale happened and I just couldn't believe it. That's when that really got me going. And it was just 1 sale and I still have a long way to go, but it really helped me realize that, okay, somebody actually bought this, somebody's going to use it. And that makes me feel so good. There is somebody out there, they want to work towards their goals. They want to use my planner templates to get ahead of something. So this is when I realized you don't need to have it all figured out. You just have to begin. And I'm so glad I started. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I feel like this is just the beginning. I have so many ideas. Every single day I wake up and I'm just so excited to work on something that I get to call my own. I've just been so uninspired on Instagram and TikTok. I feel like I'm in the in-between stage where I graduated almost 2 years ago now. I'm still very early in my career, so I'm still kind of finding my place in this big world we live in. But for some reason, creating this brand, it just makes me feel like, okay, I have something I get to call my own. I have something that I have control over finally. Just a few years ago, I was in my tiny student apartment making these morning routines and study vlogs, and now I'm here launching my own business and creating these digital planner templates for others who love staying organized and want to track their goals. So if you want to check out my business, go to the link in my bio. I'll also put it down below. I will be documenting the whole journey on here. One day when I launch the physical product, I can come back to this video and just reflect on how far I've come. And I'm just so happy I hit start. If you're putting off something because you feel like it's not perfect yet, I hope that you see this as a sign, because I was doing the same thing until I hit publish on my first listing. By the time this video comes out, I've made 2 sales. It's only been a month since I started doing this. So anything is really possible. You just have to really put your head down and work towards your goals. Work towards what you want, especially when you have dreams and goals outside of your 9-to-5. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. And I really hope that my digital planners are helpful. So I'm going to close out the video here. Thank you so much for watching. This is how I'm starting my brand, my business, with no experience, no business degree, just learning as I go. And I hope that this inspired you to also do something for yourself today. Maybe you want to apply for a job. Maybe you wanted to apply to grad school. Whatever it is, just take the leap of faith. Just take it one day at a time. And I promise you, your work does pay off. So I'm going to close out the video here. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.